Check it out, guys. We are ready for March. We have, hold on here. Her face is covered. The wind was very breezy today. We got National Women's Month represented in the yard, the month of March. And then we have Ninja Turtles represented for the month of March, because the 1990 movie came out in March. And then we've got, of course, St. Patty's Day being represented, and all my favorite teams are up. And then if we go back here, oh, my car got washed today too. Doesn't it look nice? I'll mention it later in my video. And then we have the Royals, because they're starting up soon. They're already in spring training. We got them for the month of March because Ice Age came out in the month of March. We have Mario for Mario Day, which is in a couple of days. We have St. Patty's Day. So there you go. I got a couple more things to put out in the yard, but there we go. Not too bad, not too bad. And there you go. That is the yard. I haven't taken him down yet. He kind of escaped me, but that's okay. I'll leave him up for a little bit longer. But there you go. Hello, everyone. I have not yet fixed my hair, but it is what it is. Hold on. Let me... Okay. So, today is the 8th. The weekend is the 8th and the 9th of March. So, welcome to Into the Dell. Into the Dell. And, yeah, getting ready for, as a room here, we're getting ready for St. Patty's Day, and at the same time getting ready for some March Madness coming up soon. Yeah, actually tomorrow, because I have to work on the 10th, I'm going to celebrate Mario Day, probably tomorrow a little bit. Play some Mario tomorrow evening. But, yeah, sounds like fun for me. Boston Celtics, man, doing a really good job this week. First off, of course, we got a lot to talk about. We had Mardi Gras. Mardi Gras was a lot of fun. I made jambalaya for the first time. I don't think I did too bad of a job. I don't know if it's one of my favorite meals, but it wasn't bad. I'll take it, because they're trying to get something, Louisiana style. So we tried that. So if any of y'all got some suggestions to stuff we could probably try next year, let me know. But it wasn't too bad. And like I said, my first time doing it. Plus I took some nice Mardi Gras pictures and while I was here at the house. But now all that stuff is taken down because St. Patty's Day is just a couple weeks away. So we're getting ready for St. Patty's Day. So there's that going on. Also, I hope you all noticed, but I got my hair green for Mardi Gras, so there you go. And I got my hair cut. I just haven't fixed it yet, but got my hair cut. About to get my car washed. Got the pets. They got their nails cut today. They're sleeping it off now. The cats got their baths today, and then I'll give Daisy her bath tomorrow. But there's that. But yeah, green seems to be a good fit for me. I kind of like it. Angela dyed her hair purple. It's a kind of a darker purple, so it's got like the black with a hint of purple, but I really like it. And then on top of that, she cut her hair a little bit shorter yesterday. She looks really nice. So both of us decided to change up our hair styles a little bit. Go with something different. Yeah, I like it. I like my haircut. I like her haircut. We both look really good. So there's that. Also got some new coffee. I did try it, but I haven't opened this one up yet, but I did try it at the store. So it's called Kitty Cat Coffee. It's at Moonlight Petiture. She gave me some free coffee. This one has the lady that owns Moonlight Pedicure, Darby, I forgot what her last name is, but we call her Darby. But anyway, her cat Sybil made it onto this type of coffee. They name it after different cats, and then some of the proceeds of this actually goes to help feed cats. So that's really cool. So it's kind of a win-win thing there, and it's a woman-owned business. So there you go. And it is from what I understood, it's a local business too. So there you go, or at least a small business that does this. So pretty cool. Like I said, I tried some at Darby's store last weekend, and I really liked it. So I'm glad she gave me some free coffee. I'll definitely be getting some more. The only reason I haven't opened it yet is because I'm trying to finish the coffee that I've got first, and then once I finish that coffee, I'll probably be using the kitty coffee from now on. So that gives us some different stuff to have, I guess, at the house. And plus now we're supporting small businesses a little bit more, so that's always a good thing. And you gotta check out Moonlight Pedicure if you haven't. If you're around the Warrensburg area, she's a really cool person, Darby, and her business is really cool. So she's got really cool stuff in there. So be sure to check her out if you haven't. I go in there every Saturday evening, basically. There's another guy in there. I call him Scary Guy, but Doctor, I forgot. Is Doctor something? I forgot now. But anyway, we go in there and we talk about horror movies once a week, so that's kind of fun. And then after we get through talking, then I come back home, tell Angela what we discussed, and then Angela and I usually watch one horror movie before that same doctor, he has a channel, or he's got a channel, or got a show on a channel on Roku. So we usually check out his show at 8 o'clock on Saturdays, and then after that we do whatever we want until we feel tired, because I usually try to stay up on Saturday nights, because why not? I know we're going to lose an hour of sleep, but in all reality, Angela and I aren't, because we're going to stay up anyway, so, and enjoy ourselves. So there you go. We're just going to stay up, and then we're going to sleep in the morning anyway. So in retrospect, we're really not losing anything, because we plan on sleeping in. So, alright, I'm going to try to make this quick, because I want to get to Sedalia. I got to get my car washed and take the dog out. We're going to go to Hobby Lobby and PetSmart. So, before I go to the Bird today, let me see what else we have. So, talked about Mardi Gras already, and talked about my new hairstyle, and so now we're just going to get into it for the questions of the day. And I'm actually a little behind on my questions of the day. I didn't do a questions of the day yesterday, so we'll put them both here on this episode. So I'm trying to let people know, but if you can think of it, just let them know that I'm now including my whoa, that's the wrong book there. But I'm now including the questions of the day and my Missouri Day of History. I am including these in this segment now, so then that way I'm not too far behind on Mondays. I might be a little behind, but not too far behind. Alright, so let's get into it. The Black Book first. Alright, so for March the 7th, we gotta do the 7th first, since I didn't do it yesterday. So, what kind of person are you? Sound like a quote from Beethoven. What kind of person are you? But anyway, what kind of person am I? Well, I try to be a nice person, but at the same time, I don't want to be a person that's taken too lightly, necessarily. I don't want to be a person that's exploited for his kindness. But for the most part, I am a nice, friendly guy. Just don't try to take advantage of it. That's all I ask. And I respect you as long as you respect me. When that trust is gone or that respect is gone from you, and I too do the same thing. And unlike, well, I wouldn't say unlike, but the thing is that it's hard to get that respect back once it's gone. So, but anyway, I'd say that's pretty much who I am. I'm pretty nice, relaxed, down to earth guy who is a nerd and loves nerd stuff, and at the same time loves sports. So there you go. Pretty much who I am in a nutshell. And I'm a really good friend, a good boyfriend, or at least I try to be. And yeah, or fiance now, I guess. All right, now for the 8th. What recent accomplishment are you most proud of? Recent accomplishment that I'm most proud of. What recent accomplishment am I most proud of? I would say that I have yet another year of perfect attendance at work. That's not an easy feat to get, but I would say for the most part, I have shown up when I need to show up. If I do call in, I don't use points, I use the other stuff, so it keeps me, So yeah, I would say that's probably the best thing right now. My big accomplishment is I have yet another year of really good attendance. So perfect attendance, or whatever you want to call it. So I'd say that would be one. My other good accomplishment is right now we're yet again at a point in my life where we can still, Angela and I are anyway, where we can go back and start looking at houses again. So I'm excited about that, and I think that's a good accomplishment. That's not an easy thing to do either. So hopefully we'll get the house this time. But if we don't, we don't. It's okay. Well, because the last time we just didn't see any that we were really... There was one that we were interested in. We didn't end up getting it. But it's all right. The way I see it is, it just wasn't meant to be, and we move on. But hopefully our luck will change this time around. All right, so let's see what other questions we got. All right, so I found where I'm at. How many people have you dated? Oh, goodness. Well, we're saying dated, not necessarily who I was in a relationship with. That's a totally different question. Because dated doesn't necessarily mean I was in a relationship. That just means I dated them. So, how many people have I dated? Goodness, I would say at least 6 or 7 people, if not more. I want to say it's probably closer to 10 that I've dated. So, because again, like I said, dating doesn't mean in a relationship. That's a totally different question. But dating, yes. I have dated, including Angela, I would say I've dated a fairly close to 10 people. I didn't really ever do the math, but I'd say it's fairly close to 10. Who do you trust the most in your life? Angela, without a doubt. Have you had a strange encounter that you couldn't explain and are scared to share? Or are scared to share? No, I'm not as scared to share any of it as far as that goes. But yes, I have had strange encounters before, especially at the house, at my parents' house. One they live in now. When I was living there, I had once where my door opened up, and that door does not open up on its own. It will close on its own, but it does not open on its own. This time it opened up on its own. There was nobody there. and as quickly as it opened by itself, it closed. It slowly closed back, and then I heard footsteps going down the hall. Just jokingly, because we used to call that entity Gus. Gus the ghost from the books, because we didn't really know what the ghost really. We didn't know anything, because we knew that there was something going on at that house. We had different things happen before. So I know at that time I said, "Hey Gus, how's it going?" And then I heard a voice come back, "I'm not Gus." So right after that, I went outside to the hallway. There's nobody there. I played around with the door to make sure that, see if I could see a hand or anything like that with the way the door moved. I discovered there was no way to hide. I should have been able to see someone. So then I went down to where my dad was for breakfast. Asked him, if he came down there at that time. He said no. And I believe him and I were really the only ones in the house at the time. I think Mom and Joni went to go get gas or something. So I think it was just him and I in the house at that time. So I told him what happened, and he was kind of surprised by it. And yeah, so like I said, I had other experiences in that house also. I've had my name being called by a female voice when there's nobody around me. I had one time where a VHS tape had, how should I say, it was like up in midair with nobody holding it above the entertainment center. Like it kind of just raised up there and then all at once just dropped and fell back to the floor. Had that happen once. Let's see, what else? Excuse me. Like I said, heard voices a couple of times, footsteps, things would fall on it. Things in that house. It wouldn't be a series where you think it wasn't a scenario where things are being thrown or anything like that, but you would hear objects not necessarily move, but they would like drop or fall on their own with nobody around. Very weird. A lot of times it'd be objects that nobody had touched in weeks, or like they'd just been sitting on a shelf or something, and then all at once they just fell off for no reason. No explanation that we could give, because if something like that fell off, you'd see other things in the house maybe fall off if it was a shake or something in the house, but nothing else would fall. But that one object, like I said, it would be one that nobody touched in a while. It could be sitting on that shelf for a week or 2 weeks or a month. Maybe a year it sat there, and then all at once it just fell off for no reason. Sorry, I'm getting choked. But anyway, I think I've went into this enough, so that's all the questions I'm going to answer for now. Now we'll get into the Missouri Day of History, see what we got here. So we got 2 to go over for Missouri Day of History. Let's see here. Alright, so February the 7th, we go back to 2020. The first COVID case is reported in Missouri on March the 7th. So I kind of remember that when all that broke out. The Chiefs just won the Super Bowl. We were planning, for the 2019 season. Everybody was kind of planning on that Super Bowl part. Well, they just had the Super Bowl party. And, a month prior, and then all at once, we have COVID. So, March news breaks out that the virus is in the show me state. It was a 20-year-old student that was tested positive after studying in Italy and traveling to St. Louis. If I'm not mistaken, I think they actually had him under quarantine for a little while to try to make sure it wouldn't spread, but it did spread anyway. Because it's later discovered that the virus had been in Missouri at least a month prior, with a previous detection on February the 2nd. But this is the first one that they recorded, so there's that. Also, we go back to, on a side note from March the 7th, we go back to 2021. So just a year later, St. Louis natives Jason Tatum and Bradley Beal team up in the NBA All-Star Game. It was a rare feat as the two players from the same high school, which is Chaminade, played in the same All-Star Game. Which, by the way, I still root for Jason Tatum, that St. Louis native. He is a Boston Celtic, so I do root for him a lot. And the Boston Celtics. I was a Celtics fan before Tatum, but that just kind of helps, you know, having a St. Louis native playing in Boston. So there's that. And then we have March the 8th. For today's day of history, we go back to 1836. The Missouri State Penitentiary gets its first prisoner. This would be Wilson Edison. Became the first inmate there. He was checked in as the new prisoner in Jeff City. He had the place to himself for a week until inmate number 2 showed up. But this is not a place you wanted to stay for long. The state penitentiary eventually became known as the bloodiest 47 acres in America, in light of its long history of murders, suspicious deaths, and executions. At one point, the facility held 2,000 inmates, more even holding men and women at times on death row. It is decommissioned, and it was decommissioned in 2004, and now is a tourist site for historical and paranormal tours, which Angela and I have been on a tour there. She did catch what we think is an apparition of like a basically like a shadow person looking down on us from one of the top. From the second floor, and nobody's allowed up there. That's completely closed off to the public. So that was very interesting. But yes, there is your Missouri Day of History for today. So that's pretty cool. And my questions of the day. So now we are moving on. Oh, and then for my taste test video, just to let you all know, and my Martha Eve Maynard reference, which I'm doing now. Getting it out of the way, I guess. So we're doing it now. But I will do some more taste tests throughout the week this week. Like I said, I'm trying to do... I was going to do one for this video, but I don't have anything in front of me right now. And I just ate, and the belly feels good. And yeah. And I got a trip to do, so I'm going to save that for throughout the week. So be sure to be on the lookout for those taste tests. They will be coming out in future videos. Alright, so now, talking some WWE first, because the Elimination Chamber, it happened first, and my gosh, guys, Elimination Chamber this year was freaking awesome. It left us with a lot to talk about, if you are a wrestling fan. Oh, it left with a lot. The Ladies Chamber was first. It was incredible. Jade Cargill stole the match, whether they want to admit it or not. She wasn't even in the match, but she comes back. Everybody is excited. It's electric. And so we know she's going to go after her attacker. One of her attackers must be in the Elimination Chamber. So it's Liv Morgan versus Naomi to start off the match. And let's just say, for anybody who thought it was Liv Morgan, you were quickly surprised, because as soon as she got into the ring, her fists immediately averted from Liv Morgan and attacked Naomi. She freaking kicked Naomi's ass. It wasn't even a fight. It was more of a mugging. Naomi didn't even stand a chance. She was knocked around throughout the chamber, knocked into different pods, tried to escape, and then her head was bashed in by the door by Jade Cargill, who is a big athletic woman. I mean, she has got some ridiculous muscles. So definitely not a woman I would mess with. And she basically just attacked Naomi. As good as Naomi is, she attacked Naomi like she was a rag doll. So like I said, that one in itself made headlines for that match. It stole the night with that one. But the match would continue. Naomi was out. She had to be put on a stretcher. She was carried off, so she would not participate. But like I said, the match would continue. Liv Morgan did eliminate Alexa Bliss. I do feel like there's going to be a feud there in the future between Bliss and Morgan, because this is the second time that Morgan has eliminated Bliss from a match, because she eliminated her earlier on this year, so in a different match. So yeah, I do think that Morgan and Bliss are going to have a feud at some point, which I'm kind of looking forward to. Bianca Belair, that hair whip that she did on Liv Morgan, oh my gosh, I felt that one. It left a nice welt on the side of Morgan. All I can say is ouch. I really felt that one. Belair would go on to win the match. It was an incredible match. I give it an A. Great match. Next match was the women would continue to impress. Trish Stratus and Tiffany Stratton versus Nia Jax and Candice LeRae. It was a great match. No complaints. Everything that I thought it would be, and a little bit more. Had some near wins from both sides of the match. Stratton would get the win with hitting her moonsault on Nia Jax. She also, at one point, lifted Nia Jax up off of the mat and slammed her right back onto the mat. So that was freaking awesome. The way she just picked Nia Jax up like that. Nia Jax is not a light lady by any means. So that was really awesome. So I'm going to give that match a B+. I thought it was really good, and I liked the outcome. So congratulations to Stratton and Stratus. The next match didn't end it didn't end like I expected it to. That was Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens. I was thinking Sami Zayn was going to win it. It was very brutal. And we're talking AEW style brutal. I mean, it was a bloody mess. Or ECW style, for that matter. It was a bloody mess. It was carnage in the ring, out of the ring. They even used a barbed wire chair, where Zayn ended up using that chair on Kevin Owens at a couple points in the game, or in the match, where the people were chanting ECW. Yeah, Owens eventually put Zayn through the corners of the ring, though. Neck first, quite a few times, going after the neck of Zayn that was already injured by Kevin Owens before the match started weeks prior. So it was just a hitting point for him, and he ended up winning the match that way. And it looked like he was going to go after Sami Zayn another time after the match had ended. And that is when Randy Orton came out and surprised everybody. So now Randy Orton is back, and he is going after Kevin Owens. He did hit the RKO on Owens at one point. Was going to finish it off by basically going after him as the Legend Killer, and that was broken up by security. Orton ends up laying out a couple of the security guys because he didn't like how that played out. I give that an A. That was really cool. The whole match is really cool. The how it just got so brutal. I know some people don't like those matches. I love them. I give it an A. It was well scripted, well played out. I had no problems with it. I like the fact too that Orton is back. I like how they played that in there. So that was really good. Then we move on to men's elimination chamber. Rollins and McIntyre started the match. At one point, CM Punk hugged John Cena before they started duking it out with each other. Rollins tried to intervene there when they were hugging. Cena was thrown through the pod windows at one point. Then Cena and Punk at one point, they also went after Rollins with their finishers. Logan Paul, very strategic in the match. Drew McIntyre, he was actually eliminated by Damian Priest, which then Priest was taken out by McIntyre. Of course, there's going to be a feud going on between those two later on. We already see it coming, so I'm going to already say it. It's going to be probably Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest at WrestleMania. I definitely see that happening. Punk was eliminated by Paul. CM Punk eliminated Paul, which I didn't see coming. I thought Paul would be one of the guys to win it or come to the end. He got close, but no cigar on that one. Punk did eliminate him. And Punk also eliminated Rollins, who at the time was so obsessed with CM Punk he really wasn't watching anything else. But CM Punk made him pay and eliminated him. But Rollins stuck around and stomped CM Punk out of revenge. Gave him his signature stomp. Cena then took advantage of it and got the win. I give this match a B. I still really loved it. Not as much as I did the earlier matches, but it still wasn't bad. I still like the I like the outcome. It surprised me because I was not expecting, like I said, I was predicting either Paul to win the match or maybe Damian Priest. It'd be one of those two. So I was kind of surprised that John Cena won it. But I was like, okay, so John Cena is going to go up against Cody Rhodes. I don't know how they're going to play this because that's going to be two baby faces going after each other. Well, that wouldn't last for long. Cody Rhodes then had to talk to the final boss at the end to discuss things. He told The Rock to go F himself. With John Cena in the ring, because John Cena was still in there after winning the Elimination Chamber. Cena and Rhodes hug. The Rock gives a signal like this with the two, and then he went like this. And as soon as he did that, Cena kicks. He goes for a low blow on Cody Rhodes, and then the attack begins on Rhodes. They lay him out, beat him up, hit him with a belt. I know John Cena went after him with Rhodes' dad's watch. So it was definitely brutal, but it was really good. I liked how they did it with everything. I gave that one an A-. I thought that was really good. And like I said, it left... All in all, I give the whole thing an A. But for that particular segment, I gave it an A-. And I say, too, like, at the end of that, I mean, it gave us WWE fans a lot to talk about throughout the week. So, it gave out a lot of theories as towards his Jade Cargill and John Cena. So, it was definitely a fun week to discuss WWE. Oh, now I said, too, that we're also expecting Roman Reigns to come back, and it's rumored that Roman Reigns, when he does come back, he's going to be called the Final Tribal Chief, similar to how The Rock is being called the Final Boss. So is there something there, maybe, between Roman Reigns and The Rock? Or is he doing this to kind of mimic The Rock? Who knows? Time will tell. But it does sound very interesting. So, if that indeed is how things might play out, maybe Roman Reigns is the guy who ends up selling his soul in the end to The Rock, being called the Final Tribal Chief. Like I said, time will tell. I said that's just a rumor right now. I haven't really seen any shirts or anything that says Final Tribal Chief yet, but it could happen. Then we're moving on. The next day, we have the Oscars. Oscars were really fun. It was really fun to watch. Best Actor in a Supporting Role, Kieran Culkin got that one. Then we moved on. Best Animated Film, Flow. That cat movie, my cats loved it. We played it one time here at the house. And I'll just say that. My pets loved that movie, so it definitely got their attention. Best Animated Short Film was In the Shadow. Best Costume Design, Wicked. Love Wicked. Original Screenplay. Best Original Screenplay. I can't talk now. But anyway, that one was Anora. Best Adapted Screenplay, Concave. Best Makeup and Hairstyle was The Substance. I haven't seen that one yet, but I want to. It looks like it'd be really good. Best film editing was Anora. Best Actress Supporting Role was Zoe Saldana and Amelia Perez. I haven't seen that one yet either, but like I said, that one's been winning a lot of awards lately, so I'm kind of intrigued. Best Production Design was Wicked. Best Original Song was El Mal from Amelia Perez. Best Short Documentary, The Only Girl in the Orchestra. Best Long Documentary was No Man Land. The best sound in a movie was Dune Part 2. And I think this is the last of it, but I'm not sure. But it is the last one that I got on here. Best live action shorts was I'm Not a Robot. So, yeah, pretty cool. But the Oscars were fun. I loved watching it. I know I went to bed, though. It was still around 9 o'clock because I still had to go to bed, or I had to go to work the next day, so there's that. But I have the best dress, so here we go. So the best dress for the Oscars. Top 10 for the women and top 10 for the men. So here's my top 10. So first off for the women, number 10, I have Demi Moore in the silver dress. Number 9, Lisa with the black and white suit dress. I thought that was pretty nice. Number 8, Ariana Grande in the pink, in her pink dress. It was really nice, and I thought that dress really flowed well with her movie Wicked. So, what she's trying to promote. So I really like that. Number 7, in the black and white dress, she looked really nice. Number 6, Zoe Saldana in the burgundy dress. I thought she looked really good, and I'm glad that she got a couple of awards that night, so well deserved. Like I said, I haven't seen Amelia Perez yet, but I keep seeing that movie keep winning award after award, so I'm definitely intrigued to watch it. And from the scenes I've seen in it that they were showing at the Oscars and a couple of these other award shows, it makes me want to watch it all the more. So from what I could tell so far anyway, she did Zoe Saldana did a really good job portraying that character, so I definitely want to see it. Next is Coco Jones in the black dress. She looked amazing. Then we have Zendaya in the pink and gray dress. She looked freaking awesome too. Then we had Lupita Nyong'o in the white dress. She looked good in that white dress. I had to put her there. Number 2 is Ellie Fanning in the white dress. And number 1 was Lily Rose Depp in that black dress. I know Angela looked at me and she's like, I can definitely tell that she is the daughter of Depp. She got his facial features on. Yeah, she did, but she looks gorgeous. So I'm not going to knock her. So there's that. Now for my top 10 for the men. Number 10, Adrian Brody in the black suit black suit and tie with the brooch. I thought he looked really good. Number 9, Andrew Garfield with the brown suit. I thought it looked really different, so because of that, I had to put it at number 9. Number 8, Joe Alwyn. I shouldn't have known that. I don't know why I pronounced it the other way, but anyway, with a black suit, black tie, looked really good. Number 7, Kieran Culkin with his black suit. Number 6, we have Jeremy Strong in the gold suit, which I thought was really cool. Number 5, we have William Dafoe in the black suit. Number 4, we have Joe Locke with the gold, black, and white gray suit that he had on. I thought it was really good. Different color scheme, but it all kind of worked out. Number 3, Jerry O'Connell with the gray jacket on black suit. I thought it was really good. Number 2, Robert Downey Jr. with a black suit with the brooch. I thought that was really good, and that definitely is Robert Downey Jr.'s style, so I like that. And number 1, I had to go with Coleman Domingo's red and black suit. And I might be somewhat biased because I love red and black, but I really like that suit. And I was like, dude, I like it. I think next time I wear a suit, I might have to think about that color scheme because it looked really good. So that's who I got for that. And while I'm at it, I also have the top 10, another top 10 list for women and men for the Vanity Fair Oscars after party. So this is the best dressed on the after party. First up, the women, we have Deja Cat. I thought she looked really good and really hot and really revealing, but it's really good. Number 9, we have Amelia Domingenberg. Amelia Domingenberg. But anyway, she looked really amazing. Number 8, we have Emma Chamberlain. I thought she looked really good. Number 7, Halle Bailey. I hope I'm saying that right. Not to be confused with the other one. But Halle Bailey. I thought she looked gorgeous. 6, Vanessa Hudgens. What do you not like about Vanessa Hudgens? But yeah, she looked amazing too. Number 5, Michaela Jo Rodriguez. She looked really good. Number 4, Camila Cabello. She looked awesome. Number 3, Tate McRae. Looked really good. Number 2, Heidi Klum. She doesn't look like she's aged that much at all. Aged like fine wine. Dress looked really good. Her body looks amazing. So, gotta put her at number 2. And number 1, speaking of amazing body and amazing dress, we have Jenna Ortega. Oh my goodness. I mean, outstanding. Outstanding ladies. Alright, so now we go into the men's. For the men's after party, number 10, Coleman Domingo. He got number 10. He still looked really good. Not as good as he did on award night, but he still looked good. Number 9, Noah Centineo. Anyway, I probably screwed up, but he looked pretty good. Number 8, Saska Baron Colwyn. He looked really good. Number 7, Lil Nas X. He looked good. Number 6, Reggie Jean Page. Number 5, we had Duramino David. He looked really good. Number 4, the kid Laurel. I don't know, but anyway, he had a nice outfit going on there. I liked what he had going on, so there you go. Number 3, Joseph Quinn. He looked really awesome. Number 2, Timothy Chamalot. And Timothy always comes out with something a little bit different or more exotic, so I wasn't surprised what he had. I would expect it, and that's why he made my number 2. And then number 1, Vin Diesel. I thought he had a really nice suit going on, and it definitely fit his persona really well, so I had to put him at number 1. So there you go. There's my top 10 list for the after party. And so now we go into, now that we're done talking about the Oscars, we shall get into the TV shows. TV shows. Our nerd shows. First off, talking about The Traitors, because that show had ended this week. It had its final episode for the U.S. version. So Dylan Efron, who is the brother of actor Zac Efron, and he's also a producer, he was one of the winners, along with Debris Katrina from Housewives New Jersey, Gabby Windy from The Bachelor, and Lord Ivar Mountbatten. Those are the winners. So there you go. And saying that there were 4, then if you watch the show, then you know that the Traitors did not win. It was the Faithful that won the game. So the final 4 Faithful in the game. So they ended up splitting the prize pot amongst the 4. I thought it was a really good season. I ended up, towards the end there, I started rooting more for the Faithful just because of all the arguments and the bickering and the fighting that was going on with the Traitors. Because usually I kind of watch it to see what the Traitors are going to do. It kind of makes it fun and interesting. But this season, it's just like where all the Traitors got more and more annoying. And I was so glad that Danielle lost. I know I may catch flack for saying that, but she was one of the worst Traitors I've ever seen. I don't know how she got away with half of her stuff. Because like I said in my previous episodes talking about this, like Danielle Reese, by the way, she's from Big Brother, but just the way she would be shaking all the time when they're just going in for breakfast, or they're sitting at the round table, she's shaking like a leaf. I'm like, dude, could you be any more, could you be any more obvious than what you are right now? Because it's just like going into an interrogation, like you're going into an interrogation room, and she's already shaking, and you never said a word. It's like, dude, I'm surprised nobody else saw that. But anyways, because she is one of the last Traitors that made it through. So evidently she did something right. But Danielle Reese, though, was banished during this episode. basically, Brittany was one of those that ended up voting for her, so she got banished. Where she looked back at Brittany and said, "Really, you got me again," referring back to their Big Brothers days when Brittany supposedly got her back then. I don't know because I've never seen that episode of Big Brother or that season, so she did, but Brittany didn't play it. The thing is, Brittany didn't play that off very well after that quote was said, so a lot of people got suspicious of Brittany right after that, and that's where the faithful ended up voting Brittany out, not knowing yet that she was a traitor until after the later reveals. And of course, once they found out that they eliminated Brittany too, when they found out that after they banished Brittany, she was also a traitor, that made them even more ecstatic because they know that they all did the right thing. They got rid of the last traitor before, they went and threw their stuff into the fire. So, really good season. I really enjoyed watching it. I always love watching the traitors. It's a fun thing to watch. Like I said, it's a lot like Among Us, if you've ever played that one. It's a lot like Among Us. So if you like that game, you'll probably like Traitors. I know someday I wish that they would. I'm hoping anyway that they someday do it to where Traitors isn't just people that were on previous reality shows and, it could be just like some schmo like me going to it and having a good time. I think that would make it even more interesting. Because you don't know any of these characters then, or these people, so it might make things a lot more interesting. Alright, now we go on. We're talking about school spirits. Mr. Martin actually this is the final episode of Season 2 of School Spirits, and by the way, it was a very good season. I enjoyed it. I'm already looking forward to Season 3. I know there will be one, and I'm just excited for it. I mean, they left things open, but yet, like you knew they would. But yet they closed the door on some other things, so let's get into it. First off, we find out that Mr. Martin is the one who actually killed Janet, and not the other way around, because we're led to believe there for a while, including Janet is led to believe, that she in fact killed Mr. Martin. But no, it was actually Mr. Martin that ended up killing Janet. Although it was not on purpose, it was totally an accident. But he did make her believe that she was the one who killed them both all those years ago. He got mad about everything that was going on in his life and his career and decided to detach a hose in the lab that would create a gas leak. But then changed his mind, but it was too late. Janet was testing some flint torches, causing the explosion. And that's what killed them. So prior to that, Janet goes through her scar. She finds, she basically, in going through there, she prevents Mr. Martin from going through his, and also allows hers to close her scar to close. Well, yeah, basically allows her scar to close up, at least for the time being, saying that she has unfinished business. So she wants to stick around a little bit longer. And of course, I think the big reason is she's going to keep a watchful eye on Mr. Martin. Or she wants to find out more answers from him. So everyone went through their scars in order to keep Mr. Martin there. And that includes Maddie. Maddie did the same thing. Kept yelling on the TV because nobody was in Maddie's body at the time. Janet had left the body, so now Maddie's body was starting to die because there's no soul. And so I was screaming from my top of my lungs, like, dude, you gotta go back, you can't help them anymore, you gotta go back or you're gonna be stuck there forever. But it all played out in the end. She did get back to her body in time, so Maddie is now back in her own body, so that part you don't have to worry about anymore. She's no longer a ghost, yay. And then when she does come back in the hospital as Maddie again, Simon is there along with the other people. Maddie asks where Simon is, and then they're going back to try to find Simon. Meanwhile, Xavier, he announces to Maddie that he's been speaking to her dead father for a while. So he tells her about that. That's when it jumps to another part, but it gets very interesting. But anyway, the finale ends with Mr. Martin asking what's he doing here, referring to Simon, which Simon can see them, and he looks directly at Mr. Martin and says, "Where's Maddie?" Thinking that Maddie's still lingering with them. He has no idea that Maddie went back to her own body. And I was looking it up today, and it said, according to the executives or executive producers or whatever, they're basically saying that, well, Simon was so obsessed with the dead world that he has been sucked into that vortex and now is trapped. So that will be a fun scenario for the next season. And then Wally also found his exit door in his scar, which is really cool, but you're kind of led to believe that Wally may not want to cross over just yet. Like, he doesn't think he's done yet either. So he'll probably stick around for a little while. And, of course, we're kind of addicted to Survivor right now. I didn't put a whole lot on that about, Survivor or Masked Singer, but we're kind of getting into those shows as well. So those are must-watches here at the house. Like I said, I didn't go into detail about them this week. I might later on, but they're really, right now, they're kind of in the building segments of those, so we'll see. The new Daredevil series dropped on Disney Plus. We get to see Point Dexter in his ninja phase. So we don't really get to see him in costume, but we do get to see him early on in episode 1, which I thought was really cool. They started off really good with a fight scene. Fight scene was good. Foggy dies, so already I'm intrigued. I want to see more. There's a new intro, of course, because it's now Disney that's taken over instead of Netflix. Pretty good. Fisk is now becoming the new mayor, and he wants to unmask the heroes like Daredevil. He does make a Spider-Man reference as well. He definitely is becoming the guy that everybody loves to hate. When you're watching this show, you're definitely going to love to dislike this guy. So, the one thing they didn't go over, well, they kind of went over it, but they didn't say a lot about it. So, as we know, Echo did shoot Fisk in the face. So, and they do reference that in this show. Of course, Fisk survives, but he's in jail. But somehow or another, he gets out of jail, and they don't really discuss how he got out of jail, unless maybe they could be waiting for that for a future episode. We don't know, but right now they didn't really talk much about that. So hopefully, maybe they'll discuss that more. Fisk and Vanessa are kind of in a love-hate relationship right now, so it's very interesting. Another thing, too, is we see White Tiger. I believe that was in episode 2. We see him accidentally attack. He sees a guy getting jumped, so he goes in to save this guy, not knowing the people that he's attacking are cops. One of the cops basically dies by train. He throws him off, and a train is coming and kills that police officer. Well, that's where another police officer tells White Tiger get his hands in the air. He's under arrest. So now he's trying to get Matt Murdock, Daredevil, to represent him. Of course, Daredevil in this, once Foggy dies and he decides to hang up being Daredevil because he feels like it was his fault. So now we're jumping to this. So Matt Murdock, White Tiger wants Matt Murdock to represent him. I think he was trying to decide on whether he would or not, and that's when Murdock gets his ass kicked by some dirty cops. So he might be a little bit more interested right now. We don't know, but it looks pretty interesting. The characters were good in this, but the first couple episodes at least were somewhat... I found them to be somewhat boring. They started off really good with the action in the first movie, and then it kind of went down from there. I thought it could have been a little bit better. That, and then once again, Marvel seems to be, or Disney's Marvel seems to be relying a lot on the CGI for these films. Maybe a little bit more than they should. You know, time will tell, but I wish they kind of lay off a little bit on that and just kind of make it a little bit. But that's just my thing. But anyway, all in all, not bad, I guess. But I'm still getting a feel for it. I know this is the pilot episode, so it's hard to determine how good the season is yet for Daredevil. But right now, I'm starting to get a little bored of it. So I'm hoping it picks up here pretty soon. The characters are good. They did a good character build, but now I wanna know more about the storyline and where they're gonna go with it. So there's that. Then we get into go into WWE Raw. So CM Punk opens up Raw. He gives a speech, and he calls out. Well, in his speech, he's basically calling out The Rock. He's calling out John Cena being a sellout. And then on top of that, he calls out Seth Rollins for attacking him at the Elimination Chamber after he'd been eliminated. And Seth Rollins does come out. They start beating the crap out of each other. So we already know it's going to be CM Punk, without a doubt. There will be a CM Punk versus Seth Rollins match coming soon. We'll probably see that at WrestleMania. It might be on Raw next week, but I'm thinking we'll see. It might be a Raw match next week, so they might be saving that for Raw. But I'm thinking somewhere down the road, it's probably going to end up, going to WrestleMania. We shall see on that. We shall see. But so Otis in this segment, he challenges Gunther after what happened to Tozawa last week. Again, Otis puts up a good fight against Gunther, just like Tozawa did. But as we all knew would happen, Gunther overpowers Otis. He ends up winning that match. Then he ends up trying to bully Otis. And he bullies Tozawa before Jey Uso comes out and spears Gunther. Then he gets jumped by Mr. A-Town Down and Grayson Waller, but he ends up beating them up too. So we could see one of those two go after Jey Uso next week on Raw. Maybe Jey Uso versus Waller or Jey Uso versus A-Town Down. Time will tell. Maybe he'll take on both. But I could see that being a Raw match for next week. Valkyria beats Ivy Niles, even though Niles kept going after her leg. She ends up retaining her title, so awesome there from Valkyria. The War Raiders end up beating American Made, so now American Made and Ivy Niles still do not have a title for when their fearless leader comes back. Yes, that was a pun. Their fearless leader. But yeah, so they yet to get some titles, so I'm not sure what they're going to do there. But yeah, it sucks to be them, I guess. Meanwhile, the LWO says that they're not yet done with the New Day. They're still going to go after the New Day, which I figured was going to happen. I'm thinking that may end up being a WrestleMania match as well someday, at some point. LWO versus the New Day. Braun Breaker and Finn Balor talking smack with each other. Breaker ends up embarrassing the Judgment Day again when he's called down to where Finn Balor is, because at the time Breaker was up in the crowd, and he comes down. It looked like it was an ambush by Judgment Day, and yet Braun Breaker, he goes through the Judgment Day with not too much of a problem. So it was very interesting there. I can't wait to see Braun Breaker versus Finn Balor. I think it's going to be a good one. I don't know if they're going to make that a Raw match or make it, a bigger one later down the road. But right now, it looks like it would be really good. So there's a rumor coming around now saying that Steve Austin has said he'll help Cody Rhodes if needed, and said he is health-wise, he is doing good and ready to go. So we may see Steve Austin at some point at WrestleMania. If he does, that would be really cool. I can see him helping out Cody Rhodes by being up on the Rock, so that would be pretty cool. Rhea Ripley versus Io Sky. Great match. Loved it. EST was out there at ringside. All I gotta say on that one is it ended up not the way I expected. EST, ended up cheering on Io Sky. That got to Rhea Ripley, and because of that, Rhea Ripley took her eyes off the ball. Io Sky ends up winning. So now Io Sky is the champion. Don't get me wrong, I like Io Sky, and I like the fact that she's become a champion again. But for Rhea Ripley to lose it the way she did, I didn't like that. And on top of that, I didn't like the fact that she lost her title so close to Mania. It doesn't make much sense. I mean, Rhea Ripley is like, take it or leave it, but right now she seems to be the most popular woman in that division. So for her to lose her title this close to WrestleMania, I don't know what they're thinking there. Time will tell. I know a lot of fans said, well, they're probably going to make it into a three-way match. They're still going to, because it'll be EST versus Io Sky. They're going to probably throw Rhea Ripley in there somehow. And I'm like, well, even if they do, I mean, in my opinion, Rhea Ripley should not be thrown into that match anyway. She's earned the right to be in that match. It should have been her versus, in my opinion, it should have been Rhea Ripley versus EST, and then Io Sky tries to find her way into that match. That's what I think. But it is what it is. So, and then there's no Jade Cargill at Raw. They said that she would be at SmackDown. So now let's go to SmackDown and see what happens. So at SmackDown, we have Cody Rhodes addressing John Cena after his vicious attack on him at the Elimination Chamber. So as we know, they're going to go after each other for the title. Naomi admits to attacking Jade Cargill, in which case Jade Cargill comes to the ring. Well, she admits it to Bianca Belair. Belair is all upset. She's crying. Naomi calls her an ungrateful bitch. Jade Cargill comes out to the ring and she kicks Naomi's ass yet again. So, as to no surprise, we know eventually Jade Cargill will face Naomi in the ring for an actual match, but the way Naomi's been getting a big-time ass kicking, I don't see that changing anytime soon, especially for that kind of a match. I say Jade Cargill is going to beat the crap out of Naomi, unless something big changes there. So Braun Strowman, he slams Fatu in I think it was a match, but I'm not sure. But he slams Fatu through a table outside of the ring. I'm wondering if it wasn't an announce table, but nevertheless. Fatu goes straight on through that table and still gets right back up. This man is a beast. That's all I got to say on that. Fatu is just... I don't know. I don't know what to make out of Fatu at this point. He's just a rebel. Then we get to Randy Orton, who comes out. He's calling out Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens doesn't show up, so. But we know there's going to be a match later on down the road between Orton and Owens. That one will probably happen at WrestleMania, most likely. And Drew McIntyre has a match against Jimmy Uso. He beats Jimmy Uso outright, and then he's looking back at the ring like, I might attack Jimmy one more time. So he starts going back to the ring. Damian Priest catches him from behind and brutally beats up McIntyre. So we have the McIntyre versus Priest thing going on. Again, that one I see going on at WrestleMania, but time will tell. That might be a next week's match too. And then last but not least, we got LA Knight beats Nakamura for the U.S. title. Thought that was really good. Nice way to end the week for WWE on a high note. And LA Knight is definitely deserving of the U.S. title, so I'm glad it's back into his hands. So that was really cool for WWE. Good week for WWE. Can't complain too much about what they're doing. And then we get into shopping next. So getting to my shopping segment. Shopping. So Martha Maynard, this is for you. But going into our shopping. Well, it's for both of us. But anyway, so we got Bluebell. Bluebell is coming out with the new banana fudge ice cream. So I will be on the lookout for that. It sounds really good. Banana fudge ice cream from Bluebell. Also, Reese's has announced they are coming out with a new Pieces Bark, which is a candy that combines Reese's Pieces with roasted peanuts. It sounds really good too, so I may have to try that. It sounds really good. Also, Drumstick, the Drumstick ice cream. They are coming out with a new drumstick with peanut butter, so that sounds pretty good too. And then last but not least, we're going to talk about Taco Bell. They have the new Baja Midnight flavor, which looks like a dark purple. Didn't really say what the flavor was, or I didn't catch it, but it looks really good. But saying a lot of fans are saying, well, that sounds similar to something that Starbucks is doing. That's a coconut refresher that they're calling their midnight drink. So maybe they're in cahoots with each other. Who knows? But at any rate, Taco Bell is also coming out with some other things, including the Queso Crisp Taco, Toasted Cheddar Street Chalupa, Flaming Hot Burrito, and the Steak and Queso Crunch Wrap Sliders, which I will probably try at some point. I'll probably try each of these except for the Flaming Hot one. That one will probably give me heartburn, so I'll let someone else try that one. But the rest of them doesn't sound too bad. I may give them a shot at some point. So there you go. That's what I got for shopping. I didn't have a whole lot there, but that's what I got. But that's all I got for you guys. So that is it for... Excuse me. But that is it for the week of the 8th and 9th of March. So I hope you all enjoyed the video. I'm going to head out and do what I got to do, and then I'll come back and do some editing later. So a lot of those games that I mentioned will probably be over with, and if they are, they are. I'll probably post the scores up, here somewhere. And that's pretty much it. So on that note, you all have a good one. Peace out, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.